America is no longer for Americans. And the sooner you get that through your head, the better off you will be and the greater your critical thinkings will become to be able to make the next best moves for yourself and your family. America sold out, right? Every politician has sold us out, right? It doesn't matter if we're talking about the Democrats. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the reptilians, right? Literally. It doesn't matter who we're talking about. All the politicians have sold out to foreign interests. Why, you may ask? Why? Why did they sell us out? Right? Why is it only about foreign interests? Why are they selling, real estate to foreign parties? Right? Why are they being able to buy land? How are they coming over here in mass? Listen, they've already made these deals. They've already made these deals, and they've already decided that Americans, you're a net zero, right? Americans, you're not going to produce anything. You're not going to innovate anything anymore. It is over. Like I said before, the last innovations that we have had in mass, well, not in mass, in mass is probably the manufacturing period. That is it, right? After that, it was only tech. That is it. And that is concentrated amongst the tech lords and the elite. Nobody's doing anything anymore. So guess what? They're going to bring in the next working class who are going to be around for the next 100+ years, right? America is going to be a new America in probably the next 20 years. You're not going to recognize it. Many people say they don't recognize it now. Well, it's already happening. They're already bringing in the next working class. They're already bringing in who's willing to work. They're already bringing in the next innovators. They're already bringing it in, and they are replacing the voting bloc. That is it, right? They no longer want Americans, the original Americans. Now, we can get into a debate about that, but they no longer want you Anglo-Saxons, right? Despite popular belief, they no longer want you here. Clearly, right? You had a whole party who ran on Anglo-Saxon principles, Anglo-Saxon talking points, and you see what happened. As soon as the mofo got in, he went against the grain. They no longer care. He did the same thing that the Democrats do, right? They no longer want you Negroes here too. Well, not Negroes. Well, let's put it like this. They no longer want you foundational Black Americans here either, right? So guess what they're going to do? They're going to bring in the other Negroes, right? The Negroes who are going to work, right? So we're talking about the Nigerians, the Jamaicans, right? You can go even deeper. I mean, people of color with the Negro archetype, right? They no longer want you here, right? They no longer want you FBAs here. You are a net zero. They no longer want the original Americans, the founding Americans, which is usually, Anglo-Saxons. And if you're talking about descendants of enslaved Africans or Native Americans, these are some of the originals of the United States. Listen, you can argue with your mama. We know about out west and the native. Listen, if your descendants is from out west, aka Mexico, okay, I throw you over there with the natives. All right, I'm counting everybody. But they no longer want you here, right? They want to reel in the next money move, right? You basically the voting blocks that they have now is a liability, right? The Anglo-Saxons going crazy, you Negroes are going crazy, right? Everybody's going crazy, going against each other. Like first and foremost, it's been done on purpose, right? They need you fighting against each other. They don't need you to unite, because then if you unite, then you will see clearly that they're pinning you against each other just so they can replace you, which is already happening, right? Everybody's complaining about, oh, Texas is turning into, right? Oh, this place is turning into this, and the Indian takeover and the Mexican takeover, and all these immigrants are coming in here. Listen, while you busy Anglo-Saxons, while y'all busy fighting your fellow Negro neighbor, right? Blaming them for everything. While you busy trying to blame the immigrants for everything, they're replacing you, right? They're bringing in the next voting bloc. All right, you Negroes, right? While you busy blaming the white man for everything, for all of your problems up under the sun. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have an argument, but It's 2026. You still blaming the white man for all of your problems. You still trying to get reparations, right? You still hoping that the Democrats are going to do something for you. They ain't going to do a jack-on thing for you. And while y'all was singing Kumbaya and Negro spirituals, they was bringing in the immigrants to replace your stupid ass. So now what? Now what do you have? Nothing, right? They're going to replace all of you. While you were busy fighting amongst each other, fighting over the scraps, they was bringing in whoever was willing to accept the scraps. Now look at the country. It's gone. It's gone. I want y'all to understand what position that we're in. It's not coming back. Right? It's not coming back. This is what y'all fought for. I didn't fight for. Yes, you did. If you sat back, right? And this is specifically, so I can't blame Gen Z for the most part, because they're inheriting this madness. They're inheriting this chaos. So I can't even blame Gen Z. I can't blame younger millennials, but you older millennials, you had a chance, right? Some of you may say, well, our parents, yeah, you're right. However, older millennials, you had a chance. Gen X, you definitely had a chance to turn this ship around. I can't even talk about boomers. I can't even talk about boomers. Boomers literally created this madness. We have a boomer in office creating this madness. We had another boomer in office the previous time creating madness. I mean, the madness continues. Right? We was over in Iraq and Afghanistan because of another boomer. Right? Man, this can go on and on and on. But I just want y'all to understand and realize that, listen, there is no turning the ship around. Right? The Titanic is sinking. Right? And it's and maybe it halfway sinks and they just build something on top of it. That's what it's more so looking like. But the Titanic is sinking. The old America that we once knew, it is sinking. Right? They are rebuilding a new America. Right? They are rewriting who and what America is. Right? We're in this period of time where people are trying to define America. Right? Oh, America is this, America is that. America is not any one of those things. America is up for grabs. That's what it is. It's up for grabs. Right? And people are basically getting their share. They're getting their fair share. What are we talking about? The elites? What are we talking about? The new Americans? The new immigrants? Doesn't matter who we're talking about. Everybody is getting their piece. Right? America's for sale. America has been for sale for a very long time, and Americans just sat back. I don't know what y'all expected. Y'all just sat back. Y'all still sitting back. People are still delusional to what's going on. Right? I don't know if y'all are delusional. I don't know if y'all are in shock. Right? I don't know if, y'all got cognitive dissonance or what have you. I don't know what is going on. But it's happening. It's happening. And if y'all really wanted to stop this, y'all should have came together and stopped this probably 30, 40 years ago. Right? But y'all were so convinced by the American dream. Right? Y'all were so convinced by your low interest rates, being able to buy a home for $2. Right? Y'all were so convinced because, consumerism. Oh, look at that new restaurant. Oh, look at that new plaza. Oh, look at that new Whataburger. Oh, look at these new items in Marshalls. Oh, look at that new mall. Y'all were so convinced. They sold y'all, right? While they was distracting y'all with all kinds of stuff. While they were socially programming you to be docile, essentially, right? Y'all just sat back. You didn't challenge it, right? You didn't challenge what they were telling you. You didn't challenge wars. You just let it happen, right? Like I've said many times, Americans have lost the will to fight. You've lost the will to fight. They doped you up with all kinds of, antidepressants, antipsychotics, drugs, street and pharmaceutical, and food, Don't forget about the drugs and food. Like, they doped you up to the point where your mind is just gone. Your body is gone. You have no power, right? The power starts within. And America first lost within, right? Now, everybody's walking around all hateful. Everybody's walking around looking at their fellow Americans as the enemy. That's exactly what they want, and they got what they want. They've socially programmed you to point the finger at your neighbor. You lost. You lost, America. You lost. Right? Just call it what it is. You lost. Go ahead and sit down at the family table and tell the family we lost. America lost the war. Right? And the war has been going on since before I was born. You lost. So now it's time to reinvent the wheel. You have to find out how you fit into all of this madness. You have to find out how you fit into all of this chaos. You have to find out where you fit in a new America, in a new world order. Because the new world order is being rearranged as we speak. This whole Iran and America thing is not a coincidence. They're rearranging how things are done. The other global powers are backing away from America. America is becoming a isolationist state, right? What comes with being in isolation? Loneliness. You don't have any friends. You don't have any allies, right? For many, the country becomes weaker, right? Because clearly the wealth was created by opening up the doors. That's how the wealth was created. That's how America became America in the first place, by opening up the doors. And look at where we are now. So ask yourself a very clear question. How am I going to move forward? What am I going to do in a new America? In a new world, right? Jobs are disappearing, right? The floodgates have been open. I mean, it doesn't matter if they close it now. The gates are open. There's not enough ice babies, right, to send everybody back. It ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So the jobs are gone, and then on top of that, you're competing even at the highest level. It doesn't matter. At the highest level, at the lowest level, you're competing with the new Americans, right? The new arrivals, right? So the job market, with the limited jobs that there are, is highly competitive, even for the low skill work. So this is going to cause, of course, mass layoffs, mass joblessness, mass homelessness. People are not going to be able to afford the basic necessities. Inflation is going to continue to go up as we continue to become more isolationists, right? As more countries start to back away from the dollar and we enter into a more multipolar world. Listen, the dollar is going to continue to weaken, right? Maybe not crash, but definitely weaken. And it's just not going to be the same anymore. So you need to start preparing. You should have already started preparing, but you need to prepare yourself for that day, right? They may be doing away with fiat. There's a lot of things that are happening as we speak, right? People are still not up to date on AI. Listen, there's only so many finger pointing you can do before you got to point the finger at yourself. At some point, you have to realize that you are responsible for your quote unquote American dream. You're responsible for how you or your family end up, the trajectory of yourself and your family. At some point, you have to accept responsibility, right? You can't just point fingers no more. It is what it is. So listen, if you want to learn the tools and you want to learn the mindset, right? You want to learn the strategies that it's going to take to be able to survive in a new world. Listen, hit that link in the description. Also, that comment pinned to the top of the chat. Come over to the family and join the group, right? We're having group calls at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time every single Friday. Listen, this is important. This is essential. You don't want to get left behind. I'm teaching the AI. I'm giving you the AI tools. I'm teaching you the cryptocurrency that you need to be looking into, right? I'm teaching the strategies. I'm teaching you how to geomax. I'm teaching you the mindset that you need to have. I'm building up productive, right, soldiers, right, who are trained and ready at any given moment. So listen, if you want this work, essentially, if you want this work, come over to the Patreon. If you want to open up your mind, like I said, if you want to learn the tools, come over to the Patreon, join the family, get on these group calls so you can be prepared, because you don't want to get left behind. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live. Purpose, freedom, and power. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here. And I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint, PFP life, a way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The escape blueprint, PFP life.